Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories coming up on today's show. 2014 will be a hallmark year for the city of Swift Current as it marks its centennial. The celebration of a lifetime will come to fruition through the efforts of the Centennial Committee, volunteers, and corporate sponsors. Following a mass mail-out of approximately 1,200 letters to Swift Current area businesses a few months ago, the Swift Current Legion is still awaiting the community support to reach its fundraising goal of $500,000. As the end of October quickly approaches, Halloween is an autumn tradition which many look forward to. And along with the costumes, candy, and decorations comes the issue of safety. Thanks for joining us here today. 2014 will mark Swift Current's centennial, and a number of corporate sponsors have now stepped forward for the celebration. 2014 will be a hallmark year for the city of Swift Current as it marks its centennial. The celebration of a lifetime will come to fruition through the efforts of the Centennial Committee, volunteers, and corporate sponsors. The latter, which recently came to light, the announcement that Living Sky Casino and Standard Motors have each contributed $20,000 as platinum sponsors.
Well, for us, we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year, and naturally we want to be a part of anything big in the community, and the centenary doesn't get any bigger, so we're really happy to be a part of it. And it goes back to our values at SIGA. With Asquin speaks to living together on the land, and here in the community we've tried to come in and be a good corporate citizen, and I think we have in a lot of the things that we've done in our past 5 years.
Yeah, it's going on 104 years actually for Standard Motors in this community, so we've actually been around longer than the city has been a city. 4 generations of Lewis's now in this business, including myself, and 5 in the city with my daughters and Mark's kids as well. So, we see ourselves as integrally linked to the city, and we want to be involved in making sure that it remains an awesome place to be.
Generous support, which the Centennial Committee says will go a long way, especially with the Centennial Day extravaganza on January the 15th, which will be free for everyone in attendance.
We want everyone to come, and young and old, and come and enjoy it, stay for a while or stay for the whole thing, whatever works for them, and we want it to be a really festive evening.
Later in the year, the homecoming weekend will take place in partnership with the Ag and X and the annual Frontier Days in June, with a grand finale set for November in cooperation with the DBA and the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. A well-rounded year of 3 banner events and other activities throughout the community, which Friesen hopes will encourage past residents to register for.
And of course we encourage everyone to, call friends and neighbors or email and invite them to be there, and they can go to the website. There's information there, and they can register and let everyone know that they're coming. So it's going to be exciting, and I think now we're just going to start to see things really take off in the next 3 months.
Further details on Swift Current Centennial and registration for the homecoming weekend are available online. According to Stats Canada, Saskatchewan's merchandise exports increased by $724 million in the first 4 months of 2013, as compared to the previous year. This data shows the greatest increase in production amongst all provinces. With this increase in numbers comes the need for more routes of transportation to export Saskatchewan's products. One of the province's main export partners is the U.S., but with limited routes into the country, the need for a Western trade corridor increases. A group in the U.S. dedicated to creating a trade corridor from Mexico to Canada is the Ports to Plains Alliance. This is a non-profit, community-driven advocacy group dedicated to promoting economic security throughout North America's energy and agricultural heartland. Joe Keeley is the Vice President of Operations and explains the need for the trade corridor into Canada.
Saskatchewan is exporting about $1.9 billion to the 10 U.S. states in the Ports to Plains corridor, including Mexico. That compares to China at about 1.7 for its entire exports. So we're a larger export market than the next largest country that Saskatchewan exports to.
In order to continue to export these products efficiently, quicker routes must be available. The number 4 highway would be part of the Ports to Plains trade corridor, but there are some local issues that must be addressed before this project can become possible from a Canadian standpoint. First, our border crossing into the U.S. must be a 24-hour operation, as opposed to its current 13-hour format. Secondly, there is an 80-kilometer stretch of highway near the Cadillac area that is not primary weight to support transport trucks. Swift Current City Councillor Ryan Pluis has been working closely on this project and describes the logistics that are involved in a trade corridor.
The context of what we're talking about with the number 4 highway, we're obviously talking about truck traffic. A trade corridor, though, is more than that. It's more than just the infrastructure. It's hotels, it's service stations, it's whether it's tire shops or whatever. It's everything that supports infrastructure and trade. In this case, again, north to south.
Another stakeholder involved in the project is Community Futures Southwest. Playing a pivotal role since the project's inception in 2009, Community Futures Southwest has rallied politicians, communities, businesses, and organizations as supporting partners. General Manager John Parker explains how the provincial and federal governments play a factor in the outcome of the project and why this could affect Saskatchewan for years to come.
Because we're dealing with 2 separate factors. I mean, when you talk about a 24-hour commercial port, you're talking federal, and that's a federal jurisdiction. When you're talking the highway improvements, it's a provincial entity. We are in a boom economy and a growing economy, and I think that it's important we recognize that we have to spend money in that kind of an environment in order to make sure we are capitalizing on all of the assets to grow the economy in the whole province, not just the Southwest.
Thanks to Community Futures Southwest, the Ports to Plains Alliance, and the support of communities across the region, improvements to the number 4 highway and the possibility of a 24-hour border are becoming a reality. Saskatchewan's economy is booming, and projects such as the number 4 highway corridor will assist in keeping the positive momentum into the future. The Swift Current Legion continues to move forward on its fundraising efforts. And in this report, we find out how close they are to reaching that goal. The Swift Current Legion Hall has played an integral role in Swift Current since it opened its doors in June of 1915. And like many other facilities over the years, it now needs a facelift. Following a mass mail-out of approximately 1,200 letters to Swift Current area businesses a few months ago, the Swift Current Legion is still awaiting the community support to reach its fundraising goal of $500,000. According to President Val Burns, dollars are trickling in for the Renew, Restore, and Save the Legion Hall in Swift Current.
Oktoberfest, they're saying, is about $65,000 was raised, so that's wonderful. Before that, we had about 28 already, so it's starting to come together. We do have a few more things coming up. We have the November 2nd, it's Country Classics show that's coming up, which is our fundraiser.
She further adds that in the last several weeks, the campaign has become more clear for the committee.
Or we've realized that, that's kind of an unrealistic goal, having that amount by January or February. So it might take us a little longer. We really, really want to have our goals met and our building done before our Centennial, which is 2015. That's kind of our new goal. We had to, reshift things and change things. We've also had a few extra people come on our committee and help out. We have a general contractor now who's helping us with our committee and helping us with the building codes and what needs doing when and all the rest of it.
Burns indicates that the roof is still their top priority and will be the first area addressed with the renovations, followed by the floor and then the bathrooms at a later date. And with Remembrance Day on the horizon, she hopes the community will continue to support their annual Poppy campaign and consider this as a time to make an overall donation to the hall's restoration project.
Please just come out and support us, and I hope that everyone we'll remember the Legion and remember the people that started the Legion and the reason that the Legion is here to begin with.
In the past 6 months, 30 new members have also joined the Swift Current Legion, increasing its membership to 266, sparking another ray of hope of keeping the Legion doors open. Anyone interested in more details on the fundraising campaign can contact any committee member or the Swift Current Legion office. W.W. Smith Insurance has reached a milestone as it celebrates its centennial. Having served Southwest Saskatchewan for the past 100 years, W.W. Smith Insurance is your motor license issuer, while specializing in all of your personal and commercial needs, including home, auto, agro, business, and life insurance. W.W. Smith Insurance, independently owned and operated since 1913. With Halloween on the horizon, local RCMP are once again reminding youth to stay safe on the streets. As the end of October quickly approaches, Halloween is an autumn tradition which many look forward to. And along with the costumes, candy, and decorations, comes the issue of safety.
Firstly, I just encourage kids to never trick-or-treat alone. There's always options in terms of going with an adult, an older brother, sister, group of friends, but it's advisable never to trick-or-treat alone. Secondly, the use of sidewalks is always encouraged by us. There's lots of people out and about, lots of vehicles out, so the sidewalks is always the safest option. In terms of crossing the road, always use a crosswalk or a corner. Make sure that you're looking both ways prior to crossing the street. Also, don't go to houses that have their lights off. Go to well-lit homes. Don't enter residences of people that you don't know. Don't get into vehicles of strangers. And when you get home, have your parents inspect your candy. Don't eat anything that looks like it's been tampered with or opened.
Youth are reminded to start their treating excursions earlier in the evening while it's still light out. Stay away from back alleys and never approach or accept a ride from a stranger. And motorists are also advised to be on the lookout for additional children out on the streets who may not be paying as close attention to traffic as usual.
We would just encourage motorists to be extra cautious. There's going to be lots of kids, lots of excitement and buzz around the neighborhood, so slow down. There's no rush. It's Halloween night. Make sure you take your time. We don't need any sort of tragedies occurring on a night that's intended to be fun for the kids.
And as always, if you do suspect any suspicious activity or vehicles in your neighborhood, contact the police immediately. Therefore, ensuring everyone has a safe and happy Halloween. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.